Juliana sat on her small bed, her eyes glued to her phone screen. The tiny room smelled of her mother's cooking, but she didn't notice. She was too busy scrolling through social media. Her mother, Mama Grace, worked hard as a cleaner in an expensive restaurant. But Juliana didn't want that life. She wanted to be famous. She wanted millions of people to follow her, just as Zara M, the most popular influencer in the country. Juliana had been following Zara for a long time. She admired her beautiful clothes, her exciting life, and the way people loved her. Linda, her best friend, shook her head as she watched Juliana. "You are always on the phone, Juliana. When will you start thinking about your future?" Juliana rolled her eyes. "This is my future, Linda. One day I'll become famous and I won't have to struggle like Mama." Linda sighed. She had heard this too many times. Fame isn't everything. You should focus on a real life, not just likes and comments. But Juliana didn't listen. She kept scrolling until her heart suddenly skipped a beat. It was a comment from Zara M herself. "I need an assistant. If you're interested, DM me, Zara M." Juliana gasped. "Linda, look at this." She showed her the phone. Linda frowned. It could be fake. Juliana ignored her doubt. She quickly typed a message. "Hi Zara, I'm very interested in being your assistant. I'm hardworking and passionate about social media." She sent it and held her breath. A few minutes later, her phone buzzed. Zara had replied, "Tell me more about yourself. Can you meet me tomorrow?" Juliana's hands trembled with excitement. She was about to meet her idol, but deep inside, a small voice whispered, "This was too good to be true." Juliana's heart raced as she read Zara's message again. "Tell me more about yourself. Can we meet tomorrow?" She couldn't believe it. It was the moment she had been waiting for. She quickly typed back, "Yes, I can meet you at any time. Where should I come?" A few seconds later, another message popped up. "Meet me at Golden Tower Cafe at 2 p.m. Don't be late." The Golden Tower Cafe was one of the fanciest places in the city. Juliana had never been there before. Just imagining herself sitting in such a beautiful place with Zara M made her heart swell with excitement. "I told you, my time has come, Linda," Juliana shouted, jumping up. But Linda didn't look happy. "Juliana, are you sure about this? You don't even know Zara. Why would she pick a stranger like you?" Juliana frowned. She must have seen my potential. She sees something special in me, and I won't let this chance pass. Linda sighed. "Just be careful, okay? Not everything online is real." Juliana waved her off. "You worry too much." That night, Juliana couldn't sleep. She lay awake thinking about her meeting. What would she wear? What would she talk? Would Zara like her? The next morning, Juliana sneaked into her mother's small wardrobe and picked the neatest dress she could find. It wasn't fancy, but it was clean and neat. Mama Grace noticed her dressing up. "Where are you going, Juliana?" Juliana hesitated. Just meeting someone for a job." Mama Grace raised an eyebrow. "What kind of job?" Juliana forced a smile. "Just something small, don't worry, Mama." Mama Grace sighed. "I hope you know what you're doing, my child." At 1:30 p.m., Juliana left for Golden Tower Cafe. The city streets were busy and her heart pounded with excitement. When she reached the cafe, she paused. It was bigger and fancier than she imagined. She felt out of place, but she took a deep breath and stepped inside. She looked around. Where is Zara M? Then she spotted her. Sitting in a corner, wearing dark glasses and stylish dress, was Zara M. Juliana's breath caught in her throat. She was really here. As she walked towards the table, Zara slowly lifted her head and smiled. Juliana, Zara's voice was more than calm. Yes, Juliana answered eagerly. Zara gestured for her to sit. Let's talk. Juliana's dream was finally starting, but she had no idea what was coming next. Juliana sat across from Zara M, her hands shaking slightly as she placed them on her lap. The cafe was quiet, except for the soft hum of people chatting and gentle clicking of spoons against coffee cups. Zara took off her glasses and smiled. So, Juliana, tell me, what do you want to work for me? Juliana's heart pounded. She wanted to say something smart, something that would impress Zara. I love social media. I've followed you for a very long time and I admire everything you do. I want to be like you one day. Zara chuckled. Like me? She leaned in, her eyes studying Juliana. Fame isn't easy as it looks. Are you ready to work hard? Juliana nodded quickly. Yes, I can do anything. Zara tapped her manicured nails on the table. Good. Here is the deal. I need someone to help manage my social media, answer messages, post content, and sometimes run errands for me. It's not glamorous, but it's how you start. If you do well, you get opportunities. Juliana's eyes sparkled. I'll do my best. Zara took a sip of her drink, then pulled out her phone. I'll give you a trial period. If you impress me, you will stay. But there is one rule you must completely royal. No distraction. Not talking to anyone about what you do for me. Understood? Juliana hesitated. Not even my mom? Zara's smile faded slightly. This business is competitive. You never know who wants to take your opportunity. Just keep things professional. Juliana swallowed hard. She wanted to tell Linda, but she didn't want to ruin her chance. Okay, I understand. Zara's smile returned. Good girl. She slid her phone across the table. This is your work phone. I'll send you everything you need. Welcome to my world. Juliana's finger trembled as she picked up the phone. She couldn't believe it. She was now part of Zara's life. But as she walked out of the cafe, she noticed something strange. A man in a black jacket was standing across the street, watching her. Her excitement faded for a second. Who was he? Why was he staring at her? Juliana clenched the phone Zara had given her as she walked away from the cafe. Her heart was still racing from excitement, but a strange feeling crept over her. The man in the black jacket was still standing across the street. He wasn't moving, he was just watching her. Juliana's stomach tightened. Who is he? Why is he looking at me? She glanced over her shoulder, trying to act normal, but the man didn't look away. Her feet moved faster. She turned the corner, hoping to disappear into the crowd. When she dared to look back again, the man was gone. Juliana exclaimed in relief. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe I'm just nervous because my life is changing so fast. She shook off the thought and focused on the phone in her hand. It was sleek and expensive. She had never owned anything this fancy before. Her heart swelled with pride. She had done it. She stepped into a new life. When she got home, she found her mother sitting in the couch, rubbing her feet. "Juliana, where have you been?" Mama Grace asked. Juliana hesitated. I got a job." Mama Grace's eyes widened in surprise. "A job? Where?" Juliana bit her lip. She remembered Zara's rule, not talking to anyone about what you do for me. "It's just a small social media job," she said. "It's nothing big yet, but it starts." Mama Grace sighed. "I hope you're being careful, my child." Juliana forced a smile. "I am, Mama. Don't worry." That night, Juliana lay in bed, staring at the new phone. A message from Zara popped up. "Be ready, your first task starts tomorrow." Juliana's finger trembled with excitement. This is it. My future begins now. She turned off the light, feeling like the luckiest girl in the world. But outside, under the street lamp, the man in the black jacket stood again, watching her in the window. Juliana walked up early, her heart pounding with excitement. She held a select phone Zara had given her and checked for messages. There it was. "Meet me at Royal Plaza Mall at 10 a.m. Wear something nice, don't be too late." Juliana jumped out of bed. She hurried, dressed her best outfit, a simple but neat dress. She glanced at her mother, who was still asleep, and she quietly slipped out of the house. As she walked through the busy street, she couldn't shake off the feeling like someone was watching her. She looked around but saw nothing unusual. Maybe I'm just imagining things. When she reached Royal Plaza Mall, she spotted Zara waiting near a designer boutique. Zara looked even more glamorous than before, dressed in expensive clothes with light sunglasses covering her face. "There you are," Zara said, barely looking up from her phone. "Come with me." Juliana followed as Zara led her inside the boutique. The store smelled of expensive perfume, and the clothes looked too spicy for someone like Juliana. Zara turned to her and handed her a black credit card. "Go to the counter and pay for my clothes. Say nothing, just swipe the card." Juliana blinked. "Me?" "Yes." Zara adjusted her sunglasses. "I have stalker problem. I don't want people to know I'm here." Juliana hesitated but nodded. She took the card and walked towards the cashier, her heart pounding. The lady at the counter scanned the clothes. "That will be $5,000. Juliana almost choked. $5,000. Her hands trembled as she swiped the card. The machine beeped and the transaction went through. Juliana exclaimed in disbelief. She grabbed the shopping bags and hurried back to Zara. "Well done," Zara said with a smirk. "You didn't ask questions. I like that." Juliana forced a smile. "What next?" Zara chuckled. "Patience, my dear. You will learn soon enough." Juliana felt a rush of pride. She had passed her first test. But as they walked out of the store, she caught a glimpse of someone in the reflection of the glass door. The man in the black jacket, watching, waiting. Juliana's excitement turned into a shiver. Who was he? Why did he feel like he was following her? Juliana clenched the shopping bags as she and Zara stepped out of the boutique. The excitement of her first task was fading. Her heart pounded for a different reason now. The man in black jacket was there again. He stood near the entrance, pretending to check his phone, but Juliana knew he was watching her. She swallowed hard and turned to Zara. Zara, I think someone is following me. Zara barely glanced up from her phone. Relax. When you work with famous people, you will always have eyes on you. Get used to it. Juliana bit her lip. Was that true? Was she just being paranoid? They walked through the mall, but an uneasy feeling couldn't go away. Suddenly, Juliana's phone buzzed. It wasn't a message from Zara. It was a message from an unknown number. Be careful. You don't know what you've gotten yourself into. Juliana's breath hinged. Her hands trembled as she read the message again. Who was this? How did they get her number? She looked around, searching for the man in the black jacket, but he was gone. Something is wrong? Zara asked, slipping her sunglasses back on. Juliana hesitated. Should she tell Zara about the message? No, nothing, Juliana said quickly, putting her phone back in her pocket. Zara smirked. Good. Let's go. I have another task for you. Juliana followed, but her mind was racing. Who sent that message? What did they mean? Was she really in danger? Juliana's heart raced as she followed Zara through the mall. The message from the unknown number kept flashing in her mind. Be careful. You don't know what you've gotten yourself into. Who sent it? Was it the man in the black jacket? What did they mean? Juliana shook off the fear. No, this is my chance. I can't ruin it now. They stopped outside the jewelry store. Zara turned to her, her lips curving into a mysterious smile. I need you to do something for me. Juliana nodded eagerly. Anything. Zara pulled out a small velvet box from her bag. I need you to return this necklace inside. Tell them it's the wrong one and get a refund. Juliana took the box. It felt heavier than she expected. That's all? Zara smiled in fate. That's all. Juliana hesitated but nodded. She stepped inside the jewelry store where sparkling diamonds and gold filled the glasses cases. A saleswoman greeted her warmly. Hello, how can I help you? Juliana placed the box on the counter. I need to return this. My boss said it's the wrong one. The woman opened the box and suddenly her face changed. This necklace wasn't brought here. Juliana blinked. What? This is not our product, the woman said, her voice sharp now. She glanced at another worker who started whispering into the phone. Juliana's stomach tightened. What's going on? I don't know. My boss told me to return it. Juliana stammered. The saleswoman frowned. Who is your boss? Juliana turned, but Zara was gone. Panic rushed through her vein. The second worker hung up the phone and looked at Juliana. Miss, you need to wait here. Juliana's heart pounded. Did Zara just set me up? Then, through the store's glasses, she saw him. The man in the black jacket. He wasn't watching anymore. This time, he was walking straight towards her. Juliana's breath caught in her throat as she saw the man in the black jacket approaching the jewelry store. His steps were steady and purposeful, and his eyes were locked on her. Her mind raced. What is he going to do? The saleswoman, still holding the box, turned to Juliana with a stern look. Stay right here, miss. We need to sort this out. Juliana took a deep breath, trying to remain calm. I have to figure out what is going on before I get into trouble. The man in black jacket stepped into the store, his eyes scanning the room until they landed on Juliana. He walked straight towards her. You've got to be kidding me. he murmured under his breath. Juliana's heart pounded in her chest. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice trembling. The man didn't answer immediately. He glanced at the saleswoman, then back at Juliana. "I'm here to clean up a mess." "Clean up a mess?" Juliana repeated, confused. He turned to a saleswoman. "This necklace isn't just any necklace. It's a fake, part of a stolen set. I've been tracking it." Juliana's eyes widened. "Stolen?" The saleswoman looked at her with a disbelief. "You didn't know?" The man in black jacket gave her a cold stare. She didn't know anything. She's just a pawn. Juliana took a step back. "What are you talking about?" Before the man could answer, Juliana's phone buzzed in her pocket. It was a message from Zara. "Leave now. Don't look back. This is none of your business." Juliana's mind spun. What does she mean? She looked at the man in the black jacket. "You saying this is all a lie? That Zara set me up?" The man's expression softened slightly. "Zara is more dangerous than you think. You've been caught up into something much bigger than you realize. You need to get out of here before it is too late." Juliana's legs felt weak. "But I thought she was helping me. I thought this was my big break." The man sighed, his eyes full of pity. "She's using you, Juliana. And when she's done with you, she'll toss you aside like everyone else." The saleswoman handed Juliana the box, her face grim. "Go, now." Juliana's mind was racing. Should she listen to the man and run, or should she trust Zara, the woman who had given her a chance? What if it's too late to back out? Suddenly, Juliana felt a wave of dread wash over her. She turned and ran out of the store, the sound of her footsteps echoing in the quiet mall. She didn't stop until she was outside, where the sunlight hit her face like a slap. But there was no turning back now. The man in the black jacket stood near the entrance, watching her go. His face was unreadable. Juliana's heart pounded as she stood outside the mall, trying to catch her breath. Her mind was spinning, torn between the man's warning and the message from Zara. What if Zara was right? What if the man is just trying to scare her? But everything inside, Juliana screamed that something was wrong. The saleswoman's face had shown fear, and the man in the black jacket, his word haunted her. She's using you. She stared at her phone again, the message from Zara flashing on the screen. Leave now. Don't look back. This is none of your business. But was it really none of her business? She couldn't stop shaking as she recalled how she felt when she started with Zara. The excitement, the hope that her dreams were finally coming true. But now everything felt different and darker. What was Zara really after? Juliana walked quickly, her footsteps echoing in the empty streets. She didn't know where she was going, but she had to think, to figure things out. As she walked, she pulled out the phone the man had given her. She was about to unlock it when a voice called her out. "Juliana!" It was Linda. She was standing on the roadwalk, looking concerned. "Linda," Juliana said, her voice shaky. I don't know what is going on anymore. Something doesn't feel right." Linda's eyes widened. "I told you to be careful, but you didn't listen. You've got to trust your gut, Juliana. Something is wrong with Zara. I don't know if I can trust myself anymore, Juliana said softly. She gave me everything I ever wanted, but I feel like I've been used. Linda stepped closer. It's not too late to leave, Juliana. You don't have to go down this road. Come home with me. We'll figure things out together. Juliana looked at her friend, the one person who always been there for her. Linda had never pushed her to be anything she wasn't. But now, Juliana had to make a choice. She looked down at her phone in her hand, the phone that could lead her back to Zara, or maybe deeper into something dangerous. I think you're right, Juliana said, her voice trembling. I need to get out of this before it is too late. Linda smiled, relief flooding her face. Let's go home, Juliana. You are not alone in this. For the first time in a long time, Juliana felt the weight of the world lift off her shoulders. She didn't know what would happen next, but at least she was taking control. She turned her back on the phone, on Zara, and on the life she thought she wanted. It was time to go home. Juliana and Linda walked side by side, the city bustling around them. But for the first time, Juliana felt at peace. She was no longer chasing something she wasn't sure about. She was taking her own path. Linda glanced at her. You made the right decision. Juliana nodded. I know. It feels like I've been running after something I didn't understand. But now, I feel like I can break again. As they reached Linda's apartment, Juliana felt a weight lift from her chest. For once, she wasn't worrying about what Zara would say or how her next post would do. Instead, she was focusing on something real, her friendship with Linda. They sat at Linda's small kitchen table, sipping tea, and Juliana finally allowed herself to relax. I should have listened to you from the start, Juliana admitted. I got so caught up in an idea of fame and success that I didn't see what was in front of me. I almost lost myself. Linda smiled gently. It's okay. We all get caught up with excitement sometimes. What matters is that you woke up. You finally found your way. Just as Juliana was about to respond, her phone buzzed again. Her heart skipped a beat. She hesitated before looking at the screen. It was a message from Zara. I don't like people who turn their back on me, Juliana. You will regret this. Juliana felt a chill run down her spine. Zara knows where I am. Who is that? Linda asked, noticing the change in Juliana's face. It's Zara, Juliana said, her voice quiet. She says I'll regret leaving. Linda's expression hardened. She's trying to scare you. Don't let her. Juliana stared at the message, her mind racing. What did she mean by that? But Linda reached over and gently placed her hand on Juliana's. You don't have to worry about her anymore. You've made a choice, and you're not alone in it. For a moment, Juliana just stared at her phone, the message lingering in her mind. But then she put the phone down on the table, feeling the weight of it slowly lifting from her shoulders. I'm not going to let her control me anymore, Juliana said with a newfound determination. I'm done with that life. Linda smiled. That's the spirit. They spent the rest of the evening talking, laughing and watching old movies. It was simple, but it felt right. For the first time in a long time, Juliana felt like she was where she belonged.